Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome back. I'm Fuzz, and today I've got a collection update video for you. And a little bit overdue on this update. It's been over a couple months since my last collection update video, and that's mainly due to the fact that I've kind of slowed down a little bit on my acquisitions over the last couple months, which is kind of par for the course for me. I tend to go through these little phases in my collecting where I'll go for a few months, I'll pick up a whole bunch of titles, and then I'll kind of chill out for a few months, and I won't pick up as many titles during that time, and I'll kind of play catch up on everything that I'd picked up prior to that. So today I'll be going over all the movies I picked up on physical media over the last couple months. And as I usually do, I'll start out with all my new Blu-ray pickups, and then I'll move on to my new 4K pickups in the second half of the video. And of course, as is always the case with my videos, this video has chapters in it. So if for some reason you're not interested in hearing about the new Blu-ray pickups, if you're only interested in the new 4K pickups, you can just skip to that portion of the video. All right, so without any further ado, let's just get right into it and rock this. All right, so let's get started on the new Blu-ray pickups first here. And first up is a title, or actually a pair of titles here. This is a double feature that is kind of a nostalgia pick for me. It kind of reminds me of when I first started getting into live-action comic book hero movies as an adult, because for many years I wasn't really into superhero movies that much. You know, I liked them as a kid, and then I kind of got away from them for a good chunk of my adult life until around the time of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. And that kind of changed my perspective. So this is those early days when I was first starting to get back into superhero films as an adult. I'm talking about the Fantastic Four double feature, the 2005 and 2007 films, the Fantastic Four and then Rise of the Silver Surfer. I loved these movies at the time. Now, admittedly, now you look at the CGI now, it's kind of cheesy, and the films are kind of cheesy, but they're still fun. And, you know, the main reason I bought this title, or bought this pair of titles, is because of the new Fantastic Four movie that's coming out. I was actually hopeful, you know, before I saw anything about it, before I saw any trailers for that new Fantastic Four movie, I was hopeful that we might finally get a decent Fantastic Four movie. You know, I was kind of hoping Marvel would do like a reassessment of what they've been doing over the last few years and radically change course. But then I saw the trailers, and I saw, you know, the previews for the new Fantastic Four movie, and I was really disappointed. You know, I'm not real happy with the cast. You know, Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, that just doesn't sound right to me. Pedro Pascal doesn't strike me as you know, capable of playing the smartest man in the universe. So yeah, I'm not a big Pedro Pascal fan, so that's kind of a deal breaker right there. But then some of the other casting choices just don't sound right either. You know, they've got a female Silver Surfer, and then the guy they've got for Johnny Storm, he doesn't seem right for the role. Seems almost kind of like a emo soy boy, Johnny Storm. And I don't know, that I don't think that's going to work for me. I mean, the Silver Surfer is played by someone that I actually think is a pretty decent actress, Julia Garner. I haven't seen her in much, but I saw her in Ozark, and I thought she was really good in that series. So, you know, I like Julia Garner. But then when I saw the clips of her as the Silver Surfer, it was totally cringeworthy, extremely cringe. And I'm like, oh man, what are you guys doing here with this? I don't know. It just seems to me like Marvel isn't really reading the room. I mean, I think people are getting pretty tired of the whole girl boss thing. And it looks like that's exactly what they're trying to do again with the new Fantastic Four movie. So after seeing trailers and what this new Fantastic Four movie is shaping up to be, I got to thinking, you know what? I better hunt down these original Fantastic Four movies from the mid 2000s, because it's entirely possible that these are the best we're going to get for the Fantastic Four, just generally speaking, which isn't saying much, but you know, honestly, just looking at the trailers for the new Fantastic Four movie, I'm already thinking that I'm still going to prefer these over that. So, you know, I had to do it. Plus, I think this might be out of print. I'm not sure when this particular double feature release came out, but I think it might be out of print. I had to get mine on eBay. So I don't know how, I mean, you can still buy them. I don't think they're hard to find, but I don't know if these are actually in print anymore. So I figured, I better get this now in case it becomes harder to find later on down the line. So so that's what I did. I picked up Fantastic Four and Rise of the Silver Surfer double feature. Okay, and next up, I've got a William Friedkin film here from 2011, so one of his later films. I'm not sure when exactly he made his last film, but this is one that caught my attention after watching the feature-length Friedkin Uncut documentary that came as part of my Sorcerer 4K. I'm talking about Killer Joe here, and they were talking a little bit about this movie in that documentary, and it kind of piqued my interest. So you got Matthew McConaughey here, and I like Matthew McConaughey. So I figured, I didn't even realize that he had been in a William Friedkin movie, right? I mean, I'd heard of this film, but I didn't know who was in it, and I didn't know anything about it. I just heard someone mention, hey, check out Killer Joe sometime, and that's all I knew about it. And I knew it was a William Friedkin movie. But just in watching a few of the clips they played in that Friedkin Uncut documentary, it caught my interest, and it looked like it might be kind of a fun movie. So, thought I'd give it a try. I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, but I am looking forward to this. I've definitely been on a William Friedkin kick lately, so I figured, why not? So, Killer Joe. All right, this next movie I picked up at the request of a friend, one of our Fuzz Club members, and a huge supporter of the channel, Lewis1987. He's really been wanting me to check this movie out. So I went ahead and picked up the Blu-ray. I'm talking about Perfume, Story of a Murder. I don't know how well you can see that, if you're getting much reflection there. But let's see, when did this one come out? 2006 is when this movie came out. I've never seen it, and to be honest, it doesn't look like the kind of thing I would normally go for. It doesn't look like the type of movie that would really be my cup of tea, but Lewis really likes it, and he's really been wanting me to check it out. So I was like, yeah, I'll give it a try. Let's see. Maybe I'll get lucky and be pleasantly surprised. It's a period film, and I'm not one to usually get into period films very often, but it does look like it has a pretty good cast. It's got Alan Rickman in it and Dustin Hoffman. It's got Ben Whishaw, who I don't really like. I didn't like him as Q in the Bond movies, but I think that's the only thing I've seen him in. So who knows? Maybe I'll like him in this. We'll see how that goes. It could just be the role he was playing in the Bond movies that I didn't really care for him. I didn't think he was the best fit for that role, but who knows? Maybe I'll be, again, pleasantly surprised by this movie and by his performance in this movie. So I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, but I will eventually get to it. It'll probably take me some time to get around to this one, Lewis. But when I do, I will definitely let you know my thoughts on this release. So Perfume, Story of a Murderer. All right, next up, I've got a batch of 5 movies. I'm going to do them all together because they're all Michael Mann movies. I've been on a Michael Mann kick lately. I've been preparing for a Michael Mann ranking video that I'd eventually like to do. But there were a few of his movies I hadn't seen, or there were other movies that I'd seen, but I didn't actually own in my collection. So I figured it was about time I pick them up. And the first one is one I'm almost kicking myself for buying on Blu-ray, because we now know that there's a new 4K coming out. And I'm talking about Miami Vice here. I just had to own this one. And the funny thing is, I had a digital copy of this. I have a digital copy of this, so I didn't really need to buy the Blu-ray right now. But for some reason, it didn't occur to me that a 4K might be coming like right around the corner, right? And like literally a few weeks after I bought this, Shout announced, I think it's Shout that announced they're going to be coming out with a 4K of this one. And so I'm, what are you going to do? That's what happens. And I am going to buy that 4K because I do like this movie. I think it's pretty good. It's one of the better Michael Mann movies if you look at the totality of his catalog. At least in my view. I mean, it's not as good as Heat or Collateral, of course, but it's still a pretty fun ride. It's a pretty entertaining ride. So I picked this title up, even though I had a digital copy, because I just needed to have a hard copy in my collection. I didn't feel right about not having these movies on at least Blu-ray. So yeah, now I'm stuck with an extra copy of Miami Vice, and I'm going to be upgrading it to 4K within just a few months. But, what are you going to do, right? Sometimes that's just how it goes with collecting. And then I also picked up The Insider, which, Academy Award winning film. Didn't that win Best Picture that year in 1999? I believe it did. And I do have the right year there. Let me double check. Yeah, 1999 for The Insider. The funny thing about this movie is I was really reluctant to pick this one up because I just didn't think I really cared that much about the movie. I had seen it back in the day when it first came out, and I seem to remember thinking it was a pretty decent movie back then, but the subject matter doesn't exactly captivate me in 2025, right? I mean, we're talking about big tobacco, which when I hear that now, I just go, oh, that's cute. Yeah, I remember back then when everybody was worked up over big tobacco. It just seems kind of quaint now, considering, everything we've seen since then, and I'll just leave it at that. But so I rewatched this. I hadn't seen the movie in whatever it was, 25 years, and I was surprised at how entertained I was by this movie on rewatch. It's still a compelling film. I don't know how Michael Mann manages to take a subject matter that I don't think is particularly interesting and somehow make it interesting. But he did just that with this movie. So yeah, great film. I had a good time revisiting this one, in the last couple months. And then another Michael Mann movie that I'd seen before, but I didn't own, is Public Enemies. And this one was kind of interesting to revisit because, I saw this when it first came out. And at the time, I didn't think I was all that impressed by it. At the time, I was kind of like, it's not that great, right? And so I had it in my mind, this film really wasn't that good. But when I came back to it just recently, after picking this up, I was pretty surprised at how much I actually liked the film. I definitely like it more now on rewatch than I did when it first came out. And I still don't rank it like super high as far as Michael Mann films go in his catalog, but I did enjoy the movie much more now than I did when it first came out. But yeah, it was kind of a cool little rediscovery with Public Enemies here. And that's considering the fact that I'm really not a big Johnny Depp fan. He's not one of my favorite actors at all. He's one of these guys that just kind of bugs me. But I didn't mind him in this. I was able to tolerate him for this one. And definitely ended up enjoying this film more than I thought I would. The only reason I bought it was so that I could rewatch it for my ranking video. I didn't even know if it was something I really needed to own, but I've been on such a big Michael Mann kick lately that I just wanted to pick up as much stuff as I could. And I figured, you know what, I should definitely give this one another chance. Plus, someone in comments, I don't know, some time ago, this was months ago, encouraged me to give this one another chance. It came up in some other video at one point. Michael Mann came up, and I had mentioned that I wasn't a big fan of this one. And someone chimed in and said, yeah, you should check that out. It might be better than you remembered. And sure enough, it was. So yeah. So Public Enemies. And then the last two Michael Mann movies I picked up are movies that I hadn't seen before, and as of right now, I've watched one of them, and one of them I still haven't watched. The first of those two is Ferrari, and I have to admit, this film did not impress me. It was kind of a disappointment. I was hoping there would be more to this movie. And, I was excited because it was a later Michael Mann film. So I was interested in seeing, what he's doing these days. And it had some good shots and scenes in it. I mean, it had some interesting scenes. But aside from a few intriguing scenes, the movie just really didn't do a whole lot for me. I thought it was kind of boring, to be honest. So that was a little bit of a disappointment. But again, what are you going to do? They can't all be bangers, can they? Right? And then the other Michael Mann movie that I picked up is one I've never seen before, and is one that a lot of people have talked up quite a bit. And I feel like I'm one of the only people that's never seen this one. I'm talking about The Last of the Mohicans, which, may or may not be coming to 4K at some point, but I figured this is one I'm probably not going to buy on 4K, even if it does come to 4K. Despite wanting to collect, quite a few Michael Mann films in 4K, this is one I doubt that I'm going to want to upgrade. And the reason is, again, it's a period film, not really my thing. I didn't really want to get this. I mean, I wanted to get it just to kind of add it to the Michael Mann collection. But the only reason I got this is because I felt like I needed to watch this movie before I could do an accurate ranking video, right? Because I know this was a pretty big one when it first came out. The chicks were all going gaga over Daniel Day-Lewis back then. And so I just, I kind of avoided it in part for that reason. Like, I didn't really care about that. I don't care what the chicks think of Daniel Day-Lewis. I'm not interested. But I still feel like I should watch the movie before I do any kind of a Michael Mann ranking, just because of how popular and how big of a movie this was when it first came out. So we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to like this at all. Again, maybe it's one of those that I'll be pleasantly surprised by. This one definitely felt like more of an obligation than anything else. But I don't know. Maybe I'll get lucky and end up enjoying this one much more than I think. So yeah, my last of the 5 Michael Mann movies I picked up on Blu-ray, The Last of the Mohicans. Okay, and for my last Blu-ray, we've got a title here from Vinegar Syndrome. I picked up because my buddy Chase over at AVA Pop Culture recommended this one, and it looked like something I would like. And I'm talking about Creature here. It's a sci-fi horror movie. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I am looking forward to checking it out. Being such a big fan of the Alien movies, of course, this looked like something that might be kind of along those same lines. So I thought I'd give it a try. So yeah, not really a whole lot to say about that because I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I was happy that I got a slipcover. The Vinegar Syndrome slipcovers are always cool. I got a little bit of, I don't even know if you can see it there. A little bit of spot gloss there on the, what is that, claws? Yeah. And then reversible cover art on the Blu-ray. So you got the, presumably the original art for this movie. So yeah, I always love, if I can get a Vinegar Syndrome slip-covered edition, that's always a win. And I think the slipcovers have since sold out. But yeah, I was happy to pick it up. I look forward to checking it out. So for my final Blu-ray pickup for this period, Creature. Okay, so moving on to my new 4K pickups now, and also continuing with the whole Vinegar Syndrome thing. The first 4K I picked up was Jade from Vinegar Syndrome, William Friedkin film. Again, I've been on a William Friedkin kick, so when I saw that Vinegar Syndrome was releasing this in 4K, I was pretty excited about it. Although the movie itself is just okay. And I had seen this movie like once before back in the 90s, but I didn't really remember it very well. So I had a feeling it was probably not going to be one of William Friedkin's best, and that is definitely the case here. The movie actually ended up being pretty predictable. I more or less had the whole thing figured out in like the first 5 minutes of the film, and there's like a little bit of a twist later on, but it's not really that big. It's not hard to see where the film's going, pretty much right from the beginning. It's kind of the deal where if you've seen one erotic thriller, you've more or less seen them all, right? But we do get a very cool William Friedkin style car chase sequence in this film. So I definitely appreciate that kind of action coming from William Friedkin, especially if the rest of the film is just kind of okay. At least you get a little cool action mixed in there to keep you entertained. All right, so let's take a quick look at this and see what's included. We do get a chunky box. You guys know I'm a big fan of the chunk, right? So, I'm always a sucker for a chunky box, even if it's a film that I know I'm probably just going to think is okay. If I'm collecting William Friedkin films or any other directors, that's when I'll pull the trigger on something like this. But one thing I like about this box, I like the art. I like the colors because the colors are really striking. You get that cool green. And then, of course, we'll take a look at the slipcover here. Yeah, there's the slipcover. You do get a little spot gloss on the title there. I don't know if you can see the reflection or not. It's hard for me to tell from here. And there's the back. I like the red. It's like the Eddie Van Halen slipcover, isn't it? So, and then you got, of course, reversible cover art. You got the original cover art there inside. So, it's a pretty cool little release. Oh, and you do get a little book with it here. Let me pull that out real quick here. It's a little book, and I don't know, maybe 40 pages. It's not real long, but you do get, some essays in there. This is always so hard for me to do. All right. Yeah, lots of essays in there and some images. Sorry, I'm getting away from the mic here, fading out on you. So, yeah, I mean, actually, quite a bit of writing in here. There's quite a bit to read on this film. A lot of text, more text than images for sure. So yeah, Jade. I mainly got this because I'm collecting William Friedkin, and I figured the film was probably a tolerable film. I knew I wasn't going to be like blown away by this movie. I knew it was just probably going to be okay for me, but I still found it somewhat entertaining. I still enjoyed watching it, even though it was super predictable. I still enjoyed watching it, and I'm glad I have it as part of my William Friedkin collection. So yeah, Jade. By the way, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, do me a favor and please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you do, don't forget to activate those notifications as well, so you can always be alerted when I'm posting videos that you might be interested in. Also, don't forget to like the video and share if you're feeling so inclined. It really does help with the YouTube algorithm and the channel's visibility out there. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. And then while I was at it with Jade, I figured I'd also pick up another Vinegar Syndrome release here. The Dark Half. This is a George Romero film here from 1993. It was a blind buy. This is one I've never seen, but I do like George Romero. I have quite a few of his films in my collection, so I figured why not? I should definitely give this one a try. Plus, it's got Timothy Hutton in it, and I'm a big Timothy Hutton fan. So, definitely, I had never seen this one at all. At least I don't think I have, unless it's something that I saw like once and don't really remember and have just forgotten that I've seen it. But it looks like it has a pretty decent cast. Along with Timothy Hutton, you get Amy Madigan and Michael Rooker, who I do like. So I hope it's good. Again, I don't know if this is going to be any good or not. I took a chance on this one. Who knows? For all I know, it could totally suck. I hope that's not the case. But I very much enjoy George Romero's other movies. So I figured I might like this one too. So I hope it's decent. All right, so let's take a look at the packaging here, because I do like the packaging on this one. You get some spot gloss on the image and on the text there. I'll see if you can see that with the reflection. Oh yeah, you can there. Yeah, so you get the reflection there, which I think is really cool. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. It's also a chunky box, just like Jade, and I'll show you the back. There's a little bit of spot gloss on the eyes of the birds there, right? But I don't know if you can see that or not. And then same deal. You get a slip-covered edition inside. Well, I'll show you the book first. You get a book. Same thing, like a 40-page book. And let's see. Should I show you the inside? Let's see here. Yeah, I'll show you the inside as best as you can see this. I'm away from the camera a little bit there, but again, essays and yeah, lots of essays, which I'll have to check this out and read this stuff, because sometimes I do find that I'm interested in reading some of the little booklets, if they're not too long, that is. So yeah, I got some other images in there, lots of essays. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I don't know anything about this movie at all. I haven't really even looked into it. All right, let's take a look at the slipcover there. Again, one of those nice, thick, high-quality Vinegar Syndrome slipcovers. And the sides of the slipcovers, it doesn't have the title printed on it. It's like the pages of a book there, right? It's like you're looking at a stack of paper on the side there. That's kind of a cool design. I like that. And then, of course, presumably the original cover art there on that. And I don't know if you want to see that at all. I don't know if you guys can even read that. If you can pause it and check it out. Anyway, I don't know what else I can really say about The Dark Half. I haven't watched it yet, so I certainly can't comment, but that was the last Vinegar Syndrome title I picked up in that particular outing. All right, this next one was a gift from my friend Chase over at AVA Pop Culture, and he got me this Friday the 13th, the 2009 Friday the 13th film from Arrow Video. I was like, wow. Dude, what a cool gift. Chase was kind enough to send me a little care package with this movie and a few of his own movies. Chase is an independent filmmaker. And you should definitely check out Chase's channel. If you haven't checked out his channel, he's got a great physical media channel, puts out tons of content, and he's really knowledgeable about some of the more technical aspects of filmmaking too. Chase is a good guy, so make sure you check out his channel, subscribe to his channel, give his channel a little love. And it just so happens that I'd never actually seen this before. before. I've seen, many of the other Friday the 13th movies, but this happens to be one that I haven't seen. And, Chase let me know that this was one of his favorites, and he thought the restoration was a real banger as well. So that really piqued my interest. I'm very curious to see what the restoration looks like on this one. If Chase says something is a quality 4K, then I'm absolutely going to take that seriously and be even more interested in checking out that film if I haven't already. I haven't had a chance to watch this yet, but I am looking forward to it. I don't know. I feel like I've seen kind of like mixed feelings about this. Some people seem to like it. Some people really don't like it. So I have no idea what I'm going to think, but I do like the artwork on that. Sorry, I got a little distracted seeing the spot gloss there on that half of his mask there. How cool is that? I love the artwork. I haven't really... I assume this has reversible cover art, but I'm not going to look into it right now. I haven't had a chance to swap it out if it does. But yeah, I look forward to checking this out. I'll probably save it for spooky season. I'll probably wait till October before I check this one out, but it is one I am definitely going to watch this spooky season. So Friday the 13th. All right, and then I also picked up Scent of a Woman from Shout Studios. This one is this movie I'm pretty sentimental about, if I'm being honest. I have a lot of nostalgia for this movie. It is an all-time favorite film for me, like a top 25 all-time favorite film. Yeah, at least I think it was in my top 25. It's pretty high up there. I've always loved this movie. Al Pacino, that monologue, that whole speech he gives at the end is just fantastic. One of the best moments I think we've ever seen in film history. Al Pacino was absolutely on fire in this movie. And of course, he won the Academy Award for Best Actor as a result. Now, I have to admit, I was a little bit disappointed in the 4K. I mean, it doesn't look bad at all. It looks fine, and it's probably still the best this film has ever looked on home media, right? But I was expecting more of a jump in quality from Blu-ray than I feel like we ultimately got. I was expecting a little more pop. I was expecting the image to be a little more crisp, and it just wasn't quite what I had pictured in my mind. Again, it doesn't look bad. It looks fine for what it is, but it just didn't have like a wow factor. And I was thinking this particular movie, just due to the natural locations and the way it was shot, I was thinking it was going to be a really good 4K and possibly even like a demo worthy, reference quality 4K. But I can't say I really feel that way. Now, I don't regret picking it up. I would have picked it up on 4K regardless because I want to have it on the best format possible. And, I haven't had a chance to go back and compare it to my Blu-ray. So it's entirely possible that if I were go put my old Blu-ray in, then I would see more of a difference. But just watching it, without that context of having just watched it on Blu-ray, I hadn't seen it in probably, 3 or 4 years. I don't think I had seen the film in about that long. So I just went straight into watching the 4K and, was just a little bit disappointed. It wasn't quite as good of a 4K as I was hoping it would be. But I don't know, your own mileage on this may vary. And it could be that I'm totally wrong on this one, and I just don't know it yet. So, but anyway, Scent of a Woman on 4K from Shout Studios. Okay, and next up, I've got the rare modern action film here. I found another action movie that just came out this year that I ended up loving, and I had a feeling I would love it. I'm talking about Jason Statham in A Working Man. And this is the same team that did The Beekeeper, right? You got Jason Statham, you got David Ayer directing, and this one was co-written by Sylvester Stallone. So, I mean, that's some pretty good bona fides right there, right? And if you like The Beekeeper, you will probably like this one as well. I had a blast with it. I like Jason Statham's movies. He seems to be one of the few people out there in Hollywood that's still making just decent action movies, right? The kind of action movies we don't seem to get as much anymore. So I had a lot of fun with this one, and it's a great looking 4K as well. If you guys want to see that. But yeah, Jason Statham rocks. Love it. I don't know if it's quite as good as The Beekeeper, but it is a pretty solid, kick-ass film. So again, if you like The Beekeeper, there's probably a really good chance you're going to like this one as well. But yeah, I was pretty excited to add this one to my collection, knowing how good The Beekeeper is. So if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it if you're a big fan of action movies. So yeah, A Working Man. All right, and then I also picked up the new 4K for Deep Star 6. Sean Cunningham movie there. This is a Kino Lorber release, and it's a really good looking 4K. I thought it was a decent 4K restoration. I mean, it wasn't mind-blowing or anything, but I thought it was a pretty decent looking 4K. However, I think I'm starting to realize that I may not be the biggest Sean Cunningham fan. You know, I don't know. It's just his movies are so cheap looking, you know, and I think that's probably, if this movie has a fault, it's just that it was a low budget movie, came out the same year as The Abyss, but was made for a very small fraction of the budget they had for The Abyss. And you know, after watching something like The Abyss that was actually shot underwater, movies like this and Leviathan, both of which I believe came out the same year, they just kind of pale by comparison. You know, once you've seen The Abyss, something like this is just not going to quite cut it, at least in my book, you know. Now, this film wasn't a total loss. I mean, it was mildly entertaining, but I was hoping I would enjoy it more than I actually ended up enjoying it. I had some moments in it, but yeah, it just kind of, you know, the practical effects don't look real high end. Some of the sets look kind of cheap, or at least lower budget than, you know, something like The Abyss, right? So I was a little bit disappointed in this, and I would not be surprised if this ends up on a blind buy regret list at some point. I'm not sure, though. I'm still kind of on the fence. You know, there were certain aspects of this I kind of liked, and it's possible I could eventually return to this movie, but I just don't see myself rewatching this one all that often. So I'm not sure if I really needed to add this to my collection, or at least if I was going to add it to my collection, I'm not really sure I needed this on 4K. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think of this one? Are there any fans of Deep Star 6 out there? I mean, again, the Kino 4K looks fine. I thought it was a decent looking 4K. I mean, I'd never seen it before, so I didn't have anything to compare it to. But yeah, the movie just, I don't know, substantively speaking, it just didn't have a lot to it. You know, the characters just weren't that interesting to me. So, but you know, you live and you learn. I mean, that's how it goes when you blind buy titles. You know, you win some, you lose some. So what are you going to do? So yeah, Deep Star 6. All right, and then I've got one last 4K to mention here. Now, keep in mind, I'm not mentioning every new 4K I picked up over the last couple months because some of those 4Ks I already did reviews on, right? So I figured I didn't need to double up on ones that I've already recently talked about, like Sorcerer, for example. But this one I may do a review on at some point. We'll see. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. Talking about Dark City here. I got the Arrow Video Chunky box, which, again, I'm a big fan of the chunk. I always get excited about these kind of editions, and I'm glad I did because it looks like this edition has sold out like everywhere, or at least the places I looked, it looked like it was kind of sold out everywhere. So I'm glad I pre-ordered it. You know, I've heard a lot of people talk up this movie and say great things about this movie. I hear the restoration from Arrow Video is top notch. So I've really heard nothing but good things about this movie. Some people say it's a little weird and kind of, you know, hard to figure out what's going on. I don't know if that will be the case for me or not, but, you know, it looks like an intriguing film. So I'm looking forward to checking it out. Let's take a quick look here at the box. Let me show you the back there. If you guys want to pause on that at all and see what's there. But this is, you know, Arrow does their chunky boxes these days with the slip covers, which I really appreciate. And so there's the box there. Nothing really on the back there. Let's take a look at what's inside here real quick. You get a Dark City poster. I'm not going to unfold that right now. You do get a book here. Let's see what we got here. This looks like it might be about a 60 page book. It's a little bit thicker than the Vinegar Syndrome ones. So again, same thing, essays, lots of photos and that kind of thing in there. I'm not going to go through all of it. And then you get the, of course, your Amaray case here with the reversible cover art. Let you take a look at that real quick. I assume that's the original cover art. I seem to remember seeing that art back in the day in the 90s, so that looks right to me. All right, so not a whole lot more to say about this one, although I did notice one final note about this. I did notice that there appears to be like an hour-long documentary. I think it's a new documentary, like a retrospective documentary, so I always appreciate that when they include stuff like that in these releases. You know, I'm a big fan of the feature-length making of documentary, and an hour's not quite feature-length, but that's a pretty good chunk of time for a documentary. Usually, if you get something that's an hour or longer, you're getting a fairly substantive doc. Anyway, so that's about all I can really say about this one until I've actually seen it. Let me know what you guys think of this one. Is this one that I should be doing a 4K review of? Would you guys be interested in seeing me do a review of this one? I've been kind of on the fence about it, not really sure if I should do one or not. So, but anyway, my last 4K pickup for this particular period of time, Dark City. Okay, so that about wraps it up for my latest collection update. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Have you guys picked up any of these titles for your own collection? And if so, what did you think? Or feel free to drop a comment letting me know what you've added to your collection in the last month or two. I always enjoy chatting with you guys and interacting with you guys in the comments, so make sure you leave me some feedback down below. Also, don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Thank you so much for watching today, guys. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you soon.